Mike Jones. For those who don't know, you were in Kansas City. So for those who don't know, Germaine Pratt and the Bengals leaving the field in Kansas City, going through the tunnel where media members are, cameras are, and Pratt is just, can't help himself, just kind of spews out that Ossai, young second year player, got to keep your hands off the quarterback. He's yelling at him. And I would say, Mike, look, he said he was wrong, but does he really believe it? Because that's not how you do an apology. Like an apology is, I was wrong. I shouldn't have done it. We don't need all the other stuff. Leave all the other stuff out there. Hey, at the end of the day, I'm going home. I got kids. My wife. Hey, we ain't talking about your fiance. We ain't talking about your kids. You were wrong. Just say that. Stop playing. Hey, I'm a great guy. No. Just say you were wrong. Anyway.
Yeah.
Where did you stand? Where did you stand on Pratt, and where did you stand on the end of the game in Bengals Chiefs?
I mean, I understood his frustrations, but you want to shake a young fella and make sure he understands how costly his mistake was. But at the same time, that wasn't the only thing that cost them that game. That let down. I mean, Patrick Mahomes had picked up the first down with his scramble. So, hey, it was a great performance by Patrick Mahomes. It was a good performance by the Bengals, just not quite good enough. Great performance by the Kansas City defense, because without them forcing them to punt, I really thought when they got the ball back that I said to my colleague, I said, oh, so they're going to lose by 3 again. But the defense held and they got the ball back. So it wasn't just the late hit that cost them the chance to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I think we agree, Mike, that it was a late hit. There's no controversy there, not from where I sit. He was clearly out of bounds. You saw Mike Hilton kind of hold up. Okay, he's out of bounds. Next play, here comes Ossai. I feel for him, but it was the right call. You agree?
No, definitely. It was the right call. Look, there were a lot of people whining about a lot of calls late in the game. But when you look at each one of them, they were the right calls that were made. Were the refs a little more ticky-tack at times? Yes. Were there calls that were missed? Yes, but there's missed holding calls on every single play in almost every single game. But hey, that was a call that they really did have to make. Look, he's well out of bounds. Everybody else, like you said, is holding up. So,
I'll tell you one of my least favorite calls of the game. And forgive me, this is off the dome, but it was let's put it this way. It was the last pass interference call on Mike Hilton, which I thought was a joke. That was a terrible call. Do you remember this one? I think it may have been on third down. I think it was a third down pass interference call where, it's just like some contact between the receiver and Hilton, and they called Hilton for pass interference. I thought it was terrible.
That one was kind of bad, although if you're following the letter of the law very strictly, then it was right. The Eli Apple one was even worse. That was the hold. So again, there was a lot of them, and there was one that the Bengals
Apple,
right that maybe
you're right. My bad.
Yeah,
my bad. You're right.
Definitely
it was Apple. It was not Hilton. It was Apple.
Yeah, he had a hold of his jersey there. So he deserved it. The Bengals could argue that Joe Burrow should have received a late hit call or a roughing the passer call, that he did not. So again, there's all kinds of calls that were made. It's happening in real time. There's stuff when I'm there in person and I don't see, and I see people on Twitter talking about because they see all the replays. So it's a tough job. Obviously, they got to do better. And the NFL has got to continue to try to find ways to improve the integrity. But the referees were indeed, doing their best they could.
All right. So when you think, they're doing the best they could, but the reason they can't do better is because they're part-timers. Now they're going back to being school principals and accountants, lawyers.
Yeah, I mean,
they ain't think about football right now. These part-timers.
But what is it really going to do if you're sitting there? If you're sitting there watching film, if you're sitting there watching film all day long, 5-6 days a week, it's still lightning fast, and you see something, you're going to make the call. Yeah.
Okay. By that logic, hey, why doesn't Joe Burrow? You don't need all these practice days. You don't need all this film watching. Joe, just watch film that couple times a week and be fine. Do something else. Yeah, you don't need to come in. You don't need to devote all this time to your craft to perfect it. Hey, you think Joe Burrow just kind of rolls out of bed, knows how to read a defense? You know why he knows that? Because he studied it. Because he thinks about it all the time. Same with Patrick Mahomes.
I'm sure these referees are watching film every night, but unless they are watching real life, full speed action 5 days a week, it's not going to make them better on what they're seeing, the quick lightning reaction. That's why they need a sky judge to help confirm some of these calls.
The school principals right now are thinking about enrollment and recruiting for the 2023-24 school year. They ain't thinking about watching film. All right, listen. Let me ask you this real quick. I know in Kansas City you got all caught up in the environment at Arrowhead, so you probably think the Chiefs are Super Bowl favorites, got excited about Mahomes. I think Philadelphia is a slight favorite. They shouldn't be. They should be a dominant favorite. I think Philadelphia is going to handle Kansas City in the Super Bowl. What say you?
I think their defense is what's going to give them a chance. I'm not so sure about Jalen Hurts. He didn't have to throw a whole lot. Also, they have not been tested this entire postseason. You blow out the Giants and you blow out the 49ers without Brock Purdy. So I wonder if they're going to be able to handle this thing. I do wonder about the Chiefs defense being able to defend Jalen Hurts in the running game. I'm not sure if they're built for that, but I do not bet against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, but you say they haven't been tested. I mean, they've played, Mike. Philadelphia played the greatest team in modern football history on Sunday. I mean, the best coach ever, better than Lombardi, better than Belichick. They got so much talent. San Francisco, they're just blessed with talent. They're so good. Oh, their roster is so loaded. So they were tested. I mean, wow. Wow. San Francisco, they do everything. They got everything you could possibly want. Who needs a quarterback? They're so good. They're the only NFL team that doesn't even need a quarterback. They're so well coached.
Josh
so
Johnson. Hey, a lot different between Josh Johnson and Patrick Mahomes.
I'm so glad they're going home. I'm glad San Francisco's at home. Go home. Go home. Watch Super Bowl. Watch Philadelphia win. Mike Jones, appreciate you, brother. Good to see you.
I'll see you, man.
They're so great. Get those officials. Get them some full-time jobs, man. Full-time. Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.